Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Um, I figured I'd go ahead and try to knock this particular video out while someone is asleep over here. Just real quick. Little man is knocked out. He's a little milk drunk right now. But yeah, so if you're new here, this is my channel. I basically talk about, gonna be talking about my journey as a mother for the first time with like a child I birthed. I do have two older kids that are my boyfriend's children, but I take care of and love them like they're my own. The good and the bad things, we go through all of it. You know, it's just parenthood, and you know the woes and the whatnot of parenthood, and the good things, like I said, of parenthood as well. But anyway, I'll be adding them into, as I said in my previous videos. I'll be talking about dealing with a newborn and also having two older kids and balancing that life out as a mom. The videos that I have been talking about though right now are like kind of my beginner videos. So like in the second video, not the first intro video, but the second video, I'll talk about the first 5 months of my pregnancy, kind of what I went through. This definitely was the hardest part of my pregnancy. Then the last few months of my pregnancy, because I actually went the whole 40 weeks. And really didn't think I was going to make it there for a moment, just kind of the way I would feel. And also, what I forgot to mention in the video before this one, where I'm talking about the last few months of my pregnancy, right towards the end, my blood pressure started going up. A lot of it definitely was stress, but a lot of it was because it was usually high, not at the high-risk pregnancy doctor, but definitely at my OB because of how I used to have to get there. Like where they were located, they started working on the parking lot. So there was a point where in the hot heat, I had to walk from, my car all the way to the building, then go up there, then walk some more. I'm already 8-9 months pregnant. I'm already heavy. His foot's in my lung. I could barely breathe as it is. So, you pregnant moms, you know how it is. Having to get from one place to another. Hell, just driving made me tired. Like I would be driving and I still couldn't breathe, right? Like it was funny. Now it's funny. It wasn't funny. But so when I would get up there, my blood pressure usually would be high, and then of course once they allowed me to rest a little bit, it would come down. But they were still a little concerned about it. And then as I started talking about the birthing process, my blood pressure did get a little high sometimes there, and that played a little part in why I ended up being there as long as I was. But we'll get to that. All right, so birthing experience. Like I said in my last video, women, my hearts go out to us because, and not that the men don't play a big part in it, but I'm talking about us. Literally a humbling experience for sure. My camera's going crazy. I don't know why, because I'm not moving. Besides this, I don't know why it keeps moving. But anyway, let's just start. Let me just get into it. Like I said, I'm humbled. It is not for the weak. For all of it, and then even just going through everything. But let's go. Let's start off. So, of course, like I mentioned before, he was due on June 1st. I could have been induced on the 25th, but I wanted to make sure Dad was there. So, March 31st was the date that I picked. And they were, I don't know why it's so late, but 8 p.m. was my induction time. So, like I said, got there late, almost 9 o'clock instead of 8. But okay, we made it. So we get to registration. Luckily, because they told me to do registration like a month before, so I didn't have to go through all the extra paperwork. Oh my goodness. I don't know why it went to the TV. But yes, I am watching The Avengers. Me and the baby, we're MCU fans. So that's I guess the camera wanted to watch too. But anyway, so back to what I was saying. Luckily, registration was pretty quick. Went in, gave them our IDs, and then they had to put like these little special bands on mom and dad, which is basically say anyone who wants to come and visit, say that if the baby's in NICU, then you have to have one of us with you. You know, it has to be someone with the band that has to come in with, and that's just to make sure that nobody's just been able to get in there. And it's pretty secure, but we'll get to that later, like I said. So went through registration. They took me back to my room. That was pretty fast. Where I had to do the prep. So I remember going in there and like getting, you know, kind of emotional once like I was once I had changed clothes. I hadn't even put an IV or anything in me yet. And I do remember getting a little emotional because like, you know, I really struggled to get to this point. I'm almost 40, as I mentioned before. I'll be 40 this year, and I had some issues. You know, I was first pregnant when I was 28, and I lost my twins. Like I said, I'm gonna do a video on that too. But I had lost, you know, that pregnancy, and I don't know why I keep wanting to go over there to the TV. But anyway, you know, I lost them at 5 months. And then I got pregnant again about 2 years ago. And at about 2 months, I lost that pregnancy. And we don't know what happened. You know, the baby's heart just stopped. So he wasn't viable anymore. And I had to, you know, have a DNC and everything. But so going in there, yeah, that definitely was emotional. Like I said, throughout my pregnancy, I couldn't even really enjoy it as much because I was always so worried something was going to happen, and it wasn't, you know, something was going to go bad. You know, I had kind of gotten used to it to a degree. But here I am. There's the home stretch. I made it, you know. Still worried about them because anything could go wrong then, but I'm feeling more confident. But, you know, get emotional. They come in, they do the IVs. They had to poke me like 6 times because they said my veins kept rolling. They finally got it. Then they told me, well, we're going to give you Pitocin in your IV, but not the kind that you, I guess, put in internally, which I had that happen to me in my first pregnancy when they induced for me to give birth to the twins. They told me they were going to put like this balloon in me or whatever. So they put the, you know, so they're like, okay, we're going to do the balloon, whatever. Of course, I hate the internal exams, so I'm dreading all of this. So after the IV's put in and the drip starts going, then they say, okay, we're gonna put the balloon in. This is long ass, like it was what it's packaged in, like it looks like long. So I'm already tripping in my head, but I'm like, you gotta be a big girl. Women do this all the time. They can do it, you can do it. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just, you know, mind over matter is how I try to act. So I'm like, all right. So they put the balloon in, and as soon as they put the balloon in, goosh, I just feel this warm fluid just flowing out of me, and it gets on my Deadpool knee-high socks. I was mad because I was looking forward to pushing. I just knew I was gonna be pushing, you know, and I wanted my Deadpool, like I said, MCU. I wanted my Deadpool knee-high socks to be on so they look cool for when they video record me and da-da-da-da-da. I had to take them off. I had to put on those ugly hospital socks. The yellow ones at that. So, water broke. Good. Now, this is around 10 o'clock, 10:30-ish. So, I'm like, oh, this is about to be, you know, it's going to hurt. This should go fast. I went through labor before 4 hours. And it was finally over. So, and my own, you know, and I think they had to break my water. So I'm like, you know, this should be easy-ish. So, started having the contractions and whatnot. And slowly but surely, after each hour, they got worse. To me, there's 4 phases. The first ones are like the real light ones, where it's like a couple minutes apart. You feel them, but they're not killing you. You're like, okay, I could do this. To get stronger, I'm sure it building up, I can handle it. You're fooling yourselves. But some can actually, I've seen some sit up and pop a baby out like it was nothing. I was not one of those. Whew. When I tell you that was like the worst pain, child labor, not birth, just the labor part. It can be some of the worst pain known to man. People say, oh, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Because that was the few times in life giving birth that I feel like I was going to die. Like, you literally feel like your soul is going to evacuate your body, and you're just not going to survive it. Like, how do you survive that? Like, it was just horrible. In my eyes, why so much pain, is just needed to do such things. Like, getting it out, I get that because it's so big. But why all the extra for? But anyway, I digress. So, in labor, finally and then you have to be at least 5 centimeters before they even consider epidural for you. At least. Now let's get to the whole hand probing thing. So, before I even really started going into labor, no one had checked to see if I was dilated. So right after I think after my water broke or right before, she did the whole finger test. Just 2 fingers almost took me out of the game. Like, I was like holding on to the bed, and I was like, oh my God, like I was trying not to close my legs. I was tensing up, like, and she was laughing because she's like, girl. And she pointed to the to the wall right where they show like the circles and what they mean and how many centimeters. She was like, girl, I just did this one. This is just 2 fingers. And you got to get this over here. You got to get 10 centimeters out of you. She was like, girl. I'm like, girl, I don't know. Thank goodness I'm definitely getting drugs. So around 5 o'clock in the morning, they come back, they check me. And they're like, okay, you're at least 5. So you could go ahead and you can get the epidural. So I'm like, great. So, epidural guy, he comes in. As a matter of fact, even before then, they kept coming and tugging on the little balloon, and they kept saying like, no, it's not coming out. It's not ready. It's not ready. And they were a little shocked once I became 5 centimeters and hadn't come out yet. So they dug up in there and they realized that his old hooked head, big head, had lodged the balloon in there. That's why it couldn't come out, because it's eventually supposed to push itself out of you, apparently. And that wasn't happening with him because he was holding it hostage. So they pull it out and they're like, okay, you're good enough. You should start, because the balloon is to, of course, expand and help him be able to come out easier. So they pull the balloon out, 5 centimeters. Doctor comes in, anesthesiologist, and he's like, sign these papers. How do you feel? Ask me questions. I can't even remember all the questions. I was just that delirious in pain. Because by then, I'm on the phase 2 of the contractions, where they literally feel like they're more intense, they're more here, more midsection or whatnot, but they're not as bad as they are going to get. So he comes in, he does the epidural. I actually do pretty good. I thought it was going to be bad, but I actually was able to hold still. I was afraid of, contractions coming and me not being able to be still, but I did it. They put it in, and that was the best feeling throughout that whole pregnancy. I mean, not pregnancy, but birth experience, I'm sorry, that I had. I mean, I don't even say the pregnancy, because I actually felt good, felt normal. I was able to eat the ice chips. I was cheating, though, because I was drinking the water in it. And then my boyfriend and my mom had juice from Tropical Smoothie, and I was sipping a little bit on it, like not gulping, but just sipping, because I was extremely thirsty, and the ice chips were not doing it. But I paid for that, because what happened was the epidural kept wearing off after a couple hours. And so they had to keep coming back in and, re-injecting it in me. But it would only last for like an hour and a half, and then it would come back. Like about the 3rd time they had to do that, mind you, I haven't really eaten anything. I got in there at about 9 o'clock, induced at around 10. It's the next day or whatnot. And then let me get to so I didn't even get to the sweet part. So, like I said, you know, my family lives out of town, so my mom really wanted to be there for me because, of course, I'm her firstborn, and only her son, my brother, has had a kid, so she's only a grandma to was only a grandma to one at that point, my niece, and it's been 10 years since she was born. So she, you know, knowing my struggle, she was just really excited. We really prayed this baby through. A lot of people did, like, you know, getting him here. So he really is a miracle baby, even further beyond just the pregnancy and everything else. So she had she had sent me the money for the ticket. I know it's a side story. I'm probably gonna have to do a part two. But she had sent me a ticket, money for a ticket. It's like $255. And I held on her for like 2 days because I was still kind of waiting on some okays from her before I got the ticket. And then she told me, she said, well, I know you're not working right now, and I know you need things for the baby, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, do you want to just buy the ticket, or do you want to just keep the money to help you for whatever you need for yourself, the baby, whatever? So I thought about it for a couple of days. It was hard. It was, you know, it was a tough decision because, of course, I want my mom there because I'm out here by, you know, I really don't have that much family out here, but not like them. And I was like, you know, but I do need things or whatever. So I decided to keep it. And she said, like, well, I'm still probably going to end up making it. But when it got to the end of the road, it didn't look like she was going to make it. So, you know, I kind of just said, okay, you know, I'll probably, you know, my brother was here, but, you know, it's like, I'll probably, you know, just won't have her here. And so, like, at 9 o'clock that morning, I remember someone saying, someone's here for you. And my boyfriend just got back. I'm like, well, who would be here for me? And my mom walks through the door. So, of course, I cry, I get emotional because I'm happy to see her there. And I know now she's going to be there for support. She's going to be there to get to see her first grandson and then my first, you know, technical firstborn. So that's why I said, you know, my mom was there because I wanted to add that story in. So yeah, she was there. I was super happy. I'm now, once the pain starts, I'm going, mama, help me, mama, please, oh, mama, why? Oh my God, mama, it hurts so bad, mama. I mean, I was, oh, it was just bad. I was calling on my deceased grandmother. It was, oh Lord, calling on God. You know, him, I was like, babe, you know, his father, you know, just, it was just, oh Lord. And they kept saying, well, you gotta calm down, and it's worse because, you know, you over there doing all that. And what people have to understand is, I get that, but it's hard. Like, that shit hurts. Like, until you go through it, you can't, you know, and you can say, you know, breathe or whatever, but you gotta acknowledge it. I know it hurts. You know what I'm saying? Get through it, breathe through it however you have to. I feel like you should give women the right to do that. That is a painful, traumatic experience on your body. It really is. So I'm almost at 20 minutes, so what I'm going to do is, if you like it so far, of course, hit the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button if you want to keep watching. I'm going to stop this, and then I'm just going to start it over. I'm going to do a part 2. So I don't have too much hell trying to edit these videos and then post them. All right, be right back.